So the rules in sports, they are the law. And if you've ever been on the wrong side of a call, you know that the law is very much the subject of interpretation. What's even more amazing about sports is the depth that a rulebook goes to attempt to define the penalty or legality of a certain situation, or even more so, affect human behavior. And then there are rules you wonder why in the piss they are even in the rulebook in the first place. Until, of course, somebody very smart uses it to their advantage, blatantly and openly while screaming, "Look, bitch, it's in the rulebook right here. L on these B's." And that's what brings us to today's topic. You're watching Numbers Game, the rarest rules in sports. We're going to start in the NFL. Everyone knows about how Bill Belichick famously used the eligibility rules to his favor one night against the Ravens. Of course, the guru of Foxborough would find a tiny advantage and walk right through it. But this next obscure rule is something so rare, even old Mumblemouth himself hasn't tried it in a game. In fact, out of the 14,657 total NFL games that have ever been played, according to ProFootballReference.com, this play has only happened 26 times. This rare play and rule is called the fair catch kick, and it's mind-blowing. The fair catch kick rule states that after a player has successfully made a fair catch or has been awarded a fair catch, their team can attempt to kick from the spot of the catch. Come again? Oh, it gets even better from there. The kick itself can either be a place kick or drop kick, though you can't use a tee, but get this. If you kick it between the uprights, it's 3 points. Yes, it's also a field goal attempt. So before I get into the smaller details of the rule, let's break it down. Team A punts to Team B. Team B calls for a fair catch, and then Team B out of nowhere drop kicks that bitch right at Team A's goal post. I mean, is this real life? So if the attempt fails, the opposing team is awarded control of the ball from the spot of the kick. The opposing team can also return the kick if it does not go out of bounds. So you could see Team A kick, Team B fair catch, and then kick back at Team A, and then have Team A return it for a touchdown. Sounds like a lot of ball kicking if you ask me. Now, the NFL rulebook says this type of kick is a specific type of kick, but follows the field goal guidelines, which I'm guessing means you cannot fair catch a fair catch kick and then fair catch kick a ball that can be fair caught. Because, I mean, if I wanted to see that level of balls being kicked, I'd go clothes shopping with my wife. Heyo! Now you say, why on earth would somebody do this? Well, in reading about it, it's actually not so terribly stupid that it isn't worth trying. Now get this, the fair catch kick cannot be blocked. The defense has to line up 10 yards behind it. There is no snap to bobble. A holder can prop it up, laces out even. And get this, the kicker can run his happy ass right up to the ball. So in a situation where you had a team pinned to their one and a decent punt happened, with only 1 second left at the clock, you fair catch kick it at the 50. Well, from there, normally it would be a 68-yard field goal attempt. But if you fair catch kick it, it would only be a 60-yarder. With no snap and nobody to block it. See how this is working? Now, the last time this was attempted, and shit, yeah, it was attempted. Phil Dawson of the 49ers tried a 71-yard fair catch kick for the Niners versus the Rams in 2013. Yes, that recent. And, of course, he failed. Only 6 fair catch kicks have ever been successful. The last one happening in 1976 when Ray Wersching kicked one through against the Bills. And let's look at Phil's attempt. And you can see why nobody does this. Because despite what I said before about strategy, it is stupid. And if Billy doesn't do it, it must be crap. Now on to the NBA. In the last episode of Numbers Game, I talked about the maximum score possible in an NBA game. What threw a wrench in my whole assessment was fouls. And in that research though, I found this little gem. So I think most fans that follow basketball know that when a player fouls out, he can't come back into the game. But almost nobody has ever seen a scenario where a team fouled out so many players that they were down to their last 5. And then one of them got fouled out. Do they play 4-on-5? Nope. Here's the rule. Each team shall consist of 5 players. No team shall be reduced to less than 5 players. But I mean, the Knicks play with just 1 every night. If the player in the game receives a 6th personal foul and all substitutes have already been disqualified, said player shall remain in the game and shall be charged with a personal and a team foul. A technical foul shall also be assessed against his team. Damn, add 2 shots on the loss of ball. Hey, that sounds like a shitty night in Tijuana, but I guess that's better than forfeiting though. Then it goes on to say that if you're down to 5 because someone got ejected or injured, whoever it was to get fouled out last gets to go in and stay in. And no, you don't have to force the hobbled guy back onto the paint. It's whoever is able to play. So I tried to find the amount of times this happened in the NBA, and that was a fruitless endeavor, but it has actually happened. And as recently as 2014, when the Lakers played the Cavs in the no LeBron era in Cleveland, and Mike D'Antoni was the coach of the Lakers. And on February 4th, the Lakers, due to injury, could only dress 8 players. Swaggy P got hurt, shocker. Then Chris came and fouled out. Then Jordan Farmer hurt his little knee. Then Robert Sacre fouled out, and our precious little Rule got to shine, and Sacre stayed in the game. And the Lakers still won 119 to 108. Dear God, how bad were the Cavs when LeBron left? I mean, lose to just 5 players bad, I guess. Now on to my baby, hockey. We just covered what happens in basketball if too many players get disqualified. But what happens in hockey when the refs don't even show up? Well, those smart Canadians or whoever thought of this scenario actually has it written out. Section 31.11 outlines that when the refs can't attend, should there be no alternate officials, or if the teams cannot agree on a neutral party that's qualified, then 1 player from each team becomes the stripes and they play on. That's right, players in the NHL would have the opportunity to ref themselves. Maybe that's what Dennis Weidman thought was going on that night he cross-checked a linesman into Bolivia. And even more mind-blowing, this actually happened once in the NHL. In 1983, a snowstorm prevented the refs from getting to a game between the Whalers and the Devils. And of course, no alternatives were available, and I guess there were no qualified fans in the building. So New Jersey's Gary Howitt and Hartford's Mickey Vulcan got to get yelled at by their teammates. Luckily for only 1 period, as the refs finally arrived, probably to an equal amount of ribbing, unlike the only time in history anyone was ever happy to see the ref. Now finally on to baseball. I have 3 little gems for you today. Now I could probably do this entire video on the baseball rulebook, as it has more head-scratching rules in it than tax code. First, I want to start with a follow-up to my last numbers game in which I said the minimum pitch count for an MLB game is 52. It's not. So there are 2 ways to get people out without throwing 1 stinking pitch. You can intentionally walk a batter by waving your limp little wrist, then pick him off. Or if he doesn't get into the batter's box in time, a strike can be called. And if he just stays out of the box, he can get rung up. This has never happened in the bigs, but it did happen here. Yup, that's a kid getting rung up for sassing an ump and not stepping into the box. Must have called him the C word, eh? And here's the actual rule. Rule 6.02 C. If the batter refuses to take his position in the batter's box during his time at bat, the umpire shall call a strike on the batter. The ball is dead and no runners may advance. After the penalty, the batter may take his proper position and the regular ball and strike count shall continue. If the batter does not take his proper position before 3 strikes have been called, the batter shall be declared out. Damn, son. So there you have it. The minimum pitch count for a game is 0. 0.0. You can even score infinite runs without tossing a pitch because pussy-ass Rob Manfred changed the rules so you didn't have to pitch to walk someone. What's next? The DH in both leagues? Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame? People coming to Marlins games? The Cubs winning the world? Also, thanks to my subscribers for bringing the intentional walk rule to my attention. You guys are awesome. Side note, 1 quick rule I never knew about was this. Rule number 4.03. When the ball is put in play at the start of or during a game, all fielders other than the catcher shall be on fair territory. I did not know that. So if you are an active fielder, you can't be over on the foul end like A-Rod giving some model your number when you should be making $300,000 a pick. Now to wrap this up, I found the most incredible wild rulebook scenario while researching this vid. Credit to the website hardballtimes.com for coming up with this genius outcome. Link in the description. Get this, a triple play can be recorded without a fielder touching the ball. Okay, here's the situation. My parents went away. Sorry, I'm showing my age. There are runners on first and second. Nobody out. Batter at the plate hits a pop-up on the infield. The umpire yells, "Infield fly, the batter is out." Well, there's one out. And in the confusion, the runner on first passes the runner on second. He is declared out. And then so miraculously, the ball, still in the air for all of this, comes down and hits the runner who had left second base squarely on top of his head. And since a batted ball hit him, he is out. I looked in the rule book, and as long as he is off the base, if that ball hits him, he's out. And there you have it, a triple play and one in which not a single fielder touched the ball. Sounds like something the Mets would hit into. And that was it, the rarest rules of all and the times that they happen. I'm 5 points, and this was Numbers Game.